Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, allow us to say thank you. My name is Scott, and I'm a real estate broker with the Move Group here in Sioux Falls. And this podcast is a podcast of faith and real estate and how they intersect. We have conversations about faith. We have conversations about family, finances, and real estate, and everything in between. I have the fortunate, or maybe unfortunate, we're going to see how this goes. The opportunity to, in my 26 years of doing real estate and being from Sioux Falls, I have the opportunity to meet some wonderful people who eventually, that grows into some friendships, and then that actually will grow into a circle of friendships where they become your dear friends. And I have the opportunity to have two of them here joining me today. One is Chris Haugan from First International Bank and Trust. He's a mortgage loan officer. If you're not new to the pod, if you've been watching, you all know Chris. You've seen Chris. You've heard from Chris. So we're not going to delve into Chris a whole lot today, because if we do, he becomes insufferable, and nobody wants any part of that. So we're going to focus more on our other guest, Ryan Konz, who is joining us. He is also a mortgage loan officer from First International Bank and Trust. And before we go any further, before we get into Ryan, I have to say that if you have seen the commercials, the Dos Equis commercials, I did say Dos Equis. And if you've seen those.
Is that pronounced the right way?
Yes.
Equis?
Yeah, Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Two different words.
Well, okay. Well, semantics. Anyway.
Okay.
Ryan, if he
it means two X's, by the way.
Well, there's not three. There's only two, so we're good. So
okay. Sorry.
Again, insufferable. We have to mute Chris whenever we can. So, but doesn't he not look like the dude, like the most interesting man in the world?
Is that why you thought I was older?
I did. We talked about this earlier, right before coming on here. We talked about our ages and how old that we were, and I honestly, literally thought that Ryan was probably the oldest out of us three.
All of us, really. That's 17 years in mortgage lending.
Right, and that's what I'll do. 26 in real estate. You know, that's why and look at Chris. He's
just a baby. Just a baby.
But
just look at him.
Just look at him. It's maybe one year in the business. He's been in. He's not even out of his diapers yet. So
I appreciate that.
No problem. So anyway, Ryan, welcome.
Thank you.
And you had 2 minutes. Who is Ryan?
Oh,
what does Ryan do? What is Ryan hobbies? I mean, what's your sign? We know that you like those moonlit walks on the beach.
I'm a Pisces, born in February, so I'm a fish. I do like to fish also, and I like to.
And he drinks like a fish.
Of course,
just teasing. This is a faith family show. Shut up, Chris.
I do love Jesus, so that should be on the record. And I love my wife Pam of 15 years, my 3 kids. Got a lot going on. We drive to soccer practices and tournaments every other day, so that's kind of what our life is right now. And gymnastics, all my kids are in all the sports, all the things. So we drive a lot.
Yep, that's excellent. Yep, and we've all been there.
Was that 2 minutes? I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know.
But it felt like forever.
Gosh, it goes. He could
How's
go.
that coffee? Can I have a little bit of that?
You want a drink? Here, have that. So
yours?
there we go.
Yeah.
And that's my Duke cup. Just let everybody know there's a reason for that. We'll get into that after when Jaden and I get back together. So, before we get going any further in the episode, before we get into content, we always like to start our episodes with the icebreaker question of the day.
I'm nervous.
And I try not to spring it on you guys beforehand, but we've been in the business for a long time. We've all had, the closings, whether you're purchasing, whether you're refinancing, we've all had many closings in our day. The question for the day is, what is one of the most memorable closing that you've had? Ryan, you got it?
I changed a diaper in a closing in the corner of the title office one time for the borrowers.
Okay.
Newborn.
Yep.
Oh, it's for the kid. Okay.
For the kid, yep.
That's good.
Not the elderly parents. It was the child. That was memorable. There's a lot of them, let me think.
Did it go okay? Are you good at changing diapers?
By that I was a pro. I mean, I have 3 kids, and I had twins. We had 3 in diapers for a short bit. So I mean, I can do a blindfold. But
There you go.
I don't, but I could.
Well, please, that would be hard.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
We're really hoping that you share the one that we had talked about prior.
Which the unprompted question that we
the impromptu one that we really were trying to. Chris and I really want to hear. Give me a
line. Give me a line.
Give you the line.
Yeah, give me a line. Which one?
He's old. He needs a little bit of memory jogging happening right now.
There are cue cards, but
what? Oh, cue cards? Are you kidding me? Okay. All right. Do we really have to feed you this?
Yes. Feed it to me.
Okay. What?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Thank you. See, goodness.
No wonder he thought you were old.
No,
Indeed,
exactly.
Man, look at these gray hairs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We were hoping that We're hoping that it's the one that you would share.
I think it's the one that I thought you were hoping I would share, and this was one where dealing with a young man who, what's a kind way to put it, was real.
Just say it, man. This is a safe space.
Come on, it's real.
Well, it's a Christian podcast.
You can still talk
he kind of liked
things.
He liked to smoke a little bit.
Okay.
Liked to dabble in the
cigarettes,
the devil's lettuce, and he would throughout the whole process just a joy of a human to work with. But everything was like we'd ask for something, he's like, it'll work out, and it just seemed like everything we'd ask for just took a little longer for some of those folks to get something to you. And we had got to the point where his driver's license was expired, and so I said, all right. You need to get a new driver's license for closing so that you have to have a driver's license when you show up for closing. That's valid. So I helped him set an appointment at the DMV, and that was a week before closing, so it should have been all good to go. Show up for closing, and the gal at the front counter said, hey, I just need to take off your driver's license. And he's like, oh. He's like, well, mine's expired. And I said, you mean the one that we set the appointment for that you got last week? Yeah, I totally forgot to go, and now they're booked, so I don't have it. It's like, So me, the title people, agents, we're all like, and this is a back-to-back closing. Yeah. So if this doesn't close, there's about 4 behind us that aren't going to close. And so all of a sudden he's like, well, how about I just use my medical marijuana card? I'm like, it's like, okay. And then so we bring it to that title gal, and she's like, I'll see what they say. So she brings it back, and we're just all sweating, and he's like, it's like, it'll work out. It'll work out.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's like, yeah, okay. So they come back like, well, I guess we're going to use it. So we did.
Hey, you know what?
So
it
PSA, you can use a medical marijuana.
Well, hey, there you go. That'll go right into our content that we're going to talk about in this episode. Chris.
Yeah. I think the lesson too is maybe smoke a little bit more marijuana and just chill out.
Everything's
going to
work out. It'll be fine. Yeah,
right? I needed it that day. But
yeah.
There you go. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
it was
right.
fun.
Yep, there you go, Chris.
Gosh, I don't have anything that's good as long of a story. To me, anytime that you make it to closing and everything's going fine, I mean, it's just a win-win. But I actually had this one just recently where the person in the closing, he was like, after this, I have to go to a place and for some training, like at a new business in town. In my mind, I kind of lean over to the real estate agent, and I'm like, what's that about? If you never bought a house before, you don't want to change jobs in the middle of the process or hint that you are training for a job. I'm at the closing table, and I'm like, do I need to step out and just go to the bathroom for about 20 minutes and pretend I didn't hear anything? And luckily, he was volunteering. It was an organization that he was like getting some training on to go volunteer for. But my mind was like,
yep.
Oh no.
Yep. Mine is so similar to that. I was new, probably 3 years into the business, and we're down at the title company. We're sitting there. It was a first time buyer, husband and wife, just as happy as can be that they bought this house, and they're signing the paperwork, and they get that form, that says, hey, has anything changed? Well, things like that. And she, right before she checked the thing, and she's like, gosh, I'm so glad that I don't have to go back to work. Having a new baby, I am so glad that my husband said I don't have to go back to work after and I don't know if you've ever seen the movie A Few Good Men. There's the one scene, not the one scene where it says you can't handle the truth, but when he actually admits that he, ordered the code red, and everybody stops. That's what it was like. I looked at the title company, or looked at the closer. I looked at the real estate agent, and we were all looking at each other like, did that literally just happen? So long story short, we ended up, like you said, we walked out, we, stopped recording, whatever, and ended up working it out and get it done. But yeah, another thing, don't say that during the closing. So we could go on and on. I'm sure there's so many of those, and which is great because it actually leads into the content of our episode today. And the episode title today is Public Service Announcements. The public service announcement, or the PSA, when it comes to mortgages, when it comes to real estate, when we're working with those buyers, we're working with those clients, and we are asking for, during the process, there's so many things that go along from step A to step Z to the closing. So many things that we are needing, so many things that you guys are needing. And so the public service announcement today, there's going to be several of them, but we're going to talk about those. So I don't know which one of you wants to jump in and go with an example of something that you may or may not ask for that you need, or we talked about what Ryan, you said it's their wants or
needs. Yeah,
wants or needs. Okay, what are some of those things that you may be asking for, or in your little public service announcement?
Well, when a borrower needs funds to close and they get a gift from sometimes a parent or grandparent or whatever, we need to have a gift letter. Mm-hmm. And the gift letter clearly states that this is not a loan. It's not being paid back. Not that it can't be paid back, but there's no intention. This is given as a gift and those things. And then we have to track the funds. It's really a fun process to explain to people because
it's a fun process.
Funds to process. Funds to process. There you go. Fun
process.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sorry.
Fun.
Yeah.
And so I had the situation where there was a gal buying a house, getting a gift from her dad of the 5% down. And she said, all right. So I was like, all right, we'll just do this and we'll document that he gave it to you. And then we'll have her sign this gift letter that states that. Like, all right. And they're a little bit spunky, spicy folks anyway, but not 5 minutes later do I get a phone call from the dad, and no introduction, no nothing. I pick up the phone, it's like, hello, this is Ryan. And he starts listing off the owners of the bank and the president and his business banker and all the people. And he said, talk to them, I'm good for it. I'm like, okay, who is this? And he said, I'm not going to sign a letter. She's got the funds. I'm good for it. You can ask anybody there. And I said, all right, that's fine. I was like, we just need to sign that it's a gift. I'm not going to sign anything. And he hung up on me. So I called the daughter back and I said, hey, just talk to your dad. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, well, here's this situation. He can sign the gift letter and you can bring 5% of his money, or he can bring 100% and you can figure it out that way. But either 5% with the signature, or he can bring 100%, whatever works for you. So it was just one of those situations where it's kind of like, it's one of those things. Like, it's not like I'm not like asking just for fun.
Right. Yeah.
And we have a lot of those situations.
Right. So for qualifying purposes. Yeah. And for first time buyer, well, for any buyer. I mean, if there is someone that says, hey, I've got to bring 5% and I don't have 5%, but I've got somebody that does have 5%.
Yes.
You need to have a letter that states that they're going to do that. So PSA number 1 is when we ask for a gift letter, we mean we need to have a gift letter.
Yes.
Yes.
Or PSA is make sure that whoever's giving you a gift is cooperative.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the most helpful.
Right. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, what's your PSA for the day?
That's Ryan.
That's Chris.
Or whatever. Chris.
We get that a lot.
You look, it's twins.
Exactly
Like I tell you, I wanted to deal more with Ryan today, not you. So, Chris.
Yes. I'm basically his son.
Well, yeah, you could be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Well, I don't know. Could he? I don't know.
Someday I'll grow a beard.
Someday.
You cannot. There is no chance that you could ever grow a beard.
There's like 10 hairs that if they all grow long enough.
I was actually going to grow mine out and gift it to him.
You could. There you go. Just gift letter your beard to
A face hair implant?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
You would look so goofy with a beard.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And that's helpful. That's a public service announcement to you.
You know,
Do
I
not
didn't
grow a
realize
beard.
I was going to come to the table here and get bullied about facial hair by two people who obviously have no problem with that.
You know, know your surroundings.
Okay, fine.
Okay, right on. Okay.
You know, I don't know if I want to share now.
You know, Chris, I'm sorry.
All right.
That was uncalled for. This is a Christian
I
podcast.
appreciate that.
think,
Thank you.
you know,
Appreciate it.
Is it still?
Well, it may not be after today. We're gonna see. Jaden, where's Jaden? We need to bring Jaden back into this mix. Anyway, Chris,
Yeah.
you. What is a public service announcement that you might have?
Mine was going to hover around cash at the end of a transaction
I
too.
thought you were going to say cats.
Keep
Wow.
going for once. I'm not going to talk
Yeah.
about cats. Actually, do you want to see a cat?
No,
Okay,
no.
So, all right, as a banker, usually for us, we categorize everything that we're trying to figure out in either income of a person or assets. Those are kind of like the two umbrellas that we're basically everything that we're trying to track down falls underneath those couple things. For us, we're always really focused on income at the beginning because we need to make sure somebody qualifies for the loan before they even go out shopping. And usually, obviously, we're looking at assets too, but that's something that's easier to problem solve in the process. You can't fix income. Usually you can figure out assets. So that just tends to be something that we generally make sure that's there. We kind of take a glance at it, but you know, we're looking at that more heavily during the process. And so I think my PSA is boring is better when it comes to where your money is. In general, for a loan, consistency matters. If you're switching jobs a lot, that tends to be something that we have to look at more. If you're moving money around more, that tends to be something that we have to look around more. So the less you can do of all of that stuff, the more consistent and boring your life is, the easier the process is going to be. So I think the PSA for me is leave money where it's at until the banker tells you to move things around. Because I think just recently, it feels like I've been spending a lot more of my time closer to closing, chasing down different documents, because every time money moves, we have to follow it from one place to the other, and we always have to figure out the beginning and the end. So best case scenario, you have money sitting where it's been for at least a couple months. Usually 60 days is a good window where we don't really have to track where it came from if it was sitting in the account before that. But if you're moving it around, just know that you're going to end up probably having to give a lot more documentation, and it's going to feel maybe frustrating from you because we're having, okay, we need that statement. Now we need this statement. Oh, we actually have to have that statement from before. And it feels like a lot of tracking at the end when it maybe doesn't need to be. So I think my PSA would just be boring is better. Leave things where it was at.
Right.
We're such good buddies. We've actually done loans together, which is very uncommon in our industry.
Yes.
Most of the time, you just kind of work with the one person. And Ryan and I, we just like to share everything.
And I was going to mention that because it is such a it's such a competitive business. Even in the real estate world, you're competing with other agents, and for you guys, you're competing as well. But what I love about you two is you work so well together, and it's not I call it a team, but you're individual, but you guys do work extremely well together, which is rare, which is why I love the duo. I love both of you to death. So it's just
our competition is who cares more and
Yes.
who can be more generous.
Right.
We're like Michael Scott.
sure. Yeah. Right.
I care too much.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Those are our flaws.
Right. Yeah. Right. I care too much. Yes. That's very, very true. So, well, my PSA is if you are a first time buyer and you're out looking for that first home, I mean, it's always, it's natural inclination to want to bring everybody along in the process, whether it be mom and dad, grandpa and grandma, we want to bring everybody into looking at the homes, which I am not going to say do not do that. I'm a father that I've got kids that are going to be looking at homes at some point in time here in the future, which they may be, they'll be coming to you guys for that first process. We get we get pre-approved first, and then we go and look at homes. That's PSA announcement number 2. But the one is, bring your cavalry, bring your warriors with you. That's fine, but bring them after you've put a contract in on the house. Let's go out together. Allow me to be the professional that I've done this for 26 years. I know what I'm doing. the process will be that much more enjoyable than having, the whole group with you, because, the natural inclination that they have is to look out for you, look out for your best interests. They know, I've had ones where dads, the second they walk in the house, oh, nope, can't, and it's a new construction, and it's just, we know, right. Oh, this is 2x4 construction, this wall, whatever. So that's just that natural instinct in us. So to make the process go a lot smoother for you if you were buying, go through the steps, look at the house, put the contract in, you get all of that stuff done, then bring your family in to take a look at what you've purchased, because then, you're the grown up, you're mature, you've grown up, you bought a home, and that's just the natural progression. So
yeah. How many times do you feel like you've had a parent or a relative bring unnecessary worry into the situation?
I've more than I'd like to have to admit. I mean, it's unfortunate. I've had a few buyers who have walked away from homes just because of just something little, and the house that they ended up in was far worse than what they would have gotten into, and that's sad. I mean, that's a true statement. I've actually had that happen where I've got somebody where I had somebody in what I felt was a really great house. We did the inspection. It was an older one, but it passed. They did everything to it, but there was one little thing that drew the ire of, unfortunately it was dad, and it went haywire, and the couple ended up in a house that, I still think I'm getting phone calls of things that have gone wrong in that house. So, it does happen.
That happens in our world too, where you get people that come in that have misconceptions about what they should be asking about for loans. And it's kind of like, well, even just something as simple as, we didn't even come to you because we didn't have 20% down yet or something, because their grandparent or parent said, that's the old rule of thumb, which is, it's not a bad thing. Of course, having the more down is better,
right.
And it does help your loan, but don't let that keep you from even looking at the process if that's what you're wanting to do.
Right.
Because I think parents, they're well-meaning.
Yep.
But sometimes they can give advice that maybe isn't actually in the end the best.
Right.
So
exactly.
I like to suggest that, if you're going to help with the financial responsibilities of the monthly payment and upkeep of the house, then sure, you can have
absolutely
input. But if you're not, then maybe that's not. So I've said that before. I've said, hey, how about we just have the people who are actually going to be paying for this be part of this transaction?
Right. And that's not a bad thing to say.
It's great.
Right. I mean, I think it's very appropriate. I have done that too, where we've gone into a house and I've heard, the couple just fall in love with the house and walk around. And I've heard, in the back, right behind me here, oh, this, this, and I've actually had to say, let's let your kids, enjoy. This is the process,
right?
And let them, go through the process. I try to be respectful and say, look, you may have owned 3 or 4 or 5 houses in your lifetime. You've gone through this. Let's allow them to experience this. And then if there's feedback that we need to provide going forward, we will. Okay.
Right. Totally.
So anything else? I mean, we're looking at, we're really wanting to get, this is, prime buying season. We're into March, April, we're getting into spring. You guys, I'm sure, are vamping up on applications and things like that. Is there anything else that you can, give to a potential mortgage person or somebody that's looking to buy a home or get a mortgage or refinance? Is there anything else that you guys can provide as, PSA'S?
I was going to talk about a new promotion that we have going on.
Okay.
$500 off your next colonoscopy when you apply with Ryan and me together.
Wow.
We have a clean office in the back.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, we do them.
Okay. I was going to say which one. Okay. I'm generally intrigued because I need to know who's doing what.
Are you looking to apply?
Well, yeah, but I need to know who's doing what.
Sorry, Jaden.
Again.
Do you want to add more details to that?
We talked about this. Like I said, we were going to have a 30-minute conversation. It might be 2 minutes that I'm able to include. So $500 off. That's an enticement. I think that's illegal.
Is it?
It may be.
Well, we're looking into it.
Okay. Compliance.
Don't quote us.
Well, I was going to say, you might need to get through compliance on that one.
Sure.
Chris and I have had offices next to each other for a long time, and I hope we can keep that going after this
I was gonna
podcast.
say,
I'm hoping we'll cut a window into the wall between our offices so we can
have
these
the
good ideas
little
can
drive-through
flow.
window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. What is there anything else?
Well, I was going to say, talk to a lender before, like, even if you don't think that you can afford, just to put a plan together. But I mean, Chris's offer was just so good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, even if you don't qualify,
you're going to
even
get
if you're
flooded.
for the promotion.
You're going to get flooded with phone calls, I think.
well, I think
after
the
this.
point is like these people need direction and help, and like help, right? So it's like they have to have some type of like what does it look like? I've had several situations where somebody will come to my office. They're like, "Wow, I didn't even think I could do this right now." It's like, this is manageable. We can do this. Like, oh, great. And I've also had that situation where it's like, ooh, I don't think you should do this yet.
Right.
So that's,
yeah, people always underestimate or overestimate what they think that they can do.
Right.
And again, the people that especially if they've never bought a house before, the people that are talking to them about home buying are probably once again their parents. Again, well-meaning, of course. Like you need to listen to your parents, but they maybe haven't bought a house or went through the process for 20 plus years, and things change.
Oh, sure.
Every year in our industry, and so house prices change, rates change, reasonable expectations absolutely change from probably the advice that you're getting from the people that your family members that you're listening to. This is not an episode trying to talk you against your
right. No, exactly.
Your parents.
Right.
Obviously, they're there for your good.
Exactly.
So, but just keep it all in mind and take all the info, because I think Ryan's exactly right. There's times where people overestimate and they go out looking for houses before they've talked to us.
Right.
And they fall in love with a house, and then they look at the monthly payment and it freaks them out.
Exactly.
And now they're totally disheartened about the whole process.
Right.
And the other way it works too, where maybe they have great income and they've been prepping for this and they don't have a ton of other debt, and they are shooting way lower than they need to, and then they come in and like, wow, okay, actually I can do way more than I thought I could, and I'm comfortable with that. So
exactly.
Yeah, so it's even if you have no clue or you think it's not possible or whatever, just come in and chat.
And I think it's true. I think there are a lot of people that are in that realm of, gosh, they're almost scared. They're like, well, I don't know if I can or if I can't. Just, it doesn't take much. I mean, you both have online applications. I mean, it really doesn't take, that long of a time. And I know both of you, as well as I do, that you're not going to call somebody and just go and have it feel like a burden for them. I think both of you do such a great job of, just bringing those people on and walking them through the process, whether or not that they can buy or not. I think you both set them up with a plan. I think that's what ultimately what you're looking to try and get accomplished for somebody is, here's our plan. And I think that's more realistically what somebody is looking for. So very cool. All right. Anything else before we have to exit? Anything else you want to, any other stories? Anything else I colonoscopy, I think we're,
I
guess that's
already.
I think you have. I don't know if Chris is typically a de facto third host of our show. I think that may not be the case anymore, but we'll see. I'll have to talk
you
to
keep asking me back, which I think
I know, but maybe I may have to talk
your
to
intelligence. So I'm going to keep it level.
That's true. I mean, I may have to have that conversation with Jaden. Ryan, we'll see how that goes. So, well, I'm so glad to have you guys. I mean, this has been an episode that it's been kind of in the works. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, so I hope you both come back. We will absolutely 100% want this to happen again. There's going to be more stories. There's going to be more announcements that we need to make, and just
absolutely.
Do we have to come back together?
Well, that's going to be up to you two. If you know,
I'm not coming back unless you're there.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's
we're a package deal.
Okay, it's like yin and yang.
Emphasizing that.
Thing one, thing two. Easy. You're the yang to my yang. All right. Well, on that note, we always close. Thank goodness we close each of our episodes in prayer. So we need to probably cleanse things a little bit. So
speaking of colonoscopies, let's cleanse
things up a little bit. I'm going to open up an opportunity for if one of you wants to pray. I mean, I would love
Chris
that.
would love to.
Okay, we're going to leave it to.
I'm going to leave it to him.
We're going to leave it. Ryan, are you good? Would you pray for us?
Yes, thank you.
Most interesting man in the world.
Well, okay.
Okay, Ryan's going to pray for us.
Thank you, Lord, for our time together. Thank you for the fun jokes. Forgive us for Chris and the way that he talks on podcasts. thank you for Scott, and thank you for this experience. Thank you for just the way that we get to experience your love and your grace and all the things. Lord, we would pray that you bless this podcast, bless the listeners, bless the people that put it together. Love you, man. Love you, and amen.
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 Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.